What's up, guys? I'm Don Smith, and this is What's Cooking Neighbor. And as always, I'm about to take your taste buds on a culinary journey. But before we do that, I want to stop and say thank you to all you people that see me out in the community and stop me and tell me how much you enjoy this show, and all the people at my mother's church to stop me and tell me how proud they are of me. Thank you guys so much, and for all of you guys to still watch Ed's show and watch my show and tell me how much you love them both. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and continue to watch. Now, enough with that, let's get down to cooking, and today we're gonna have Pacific salmon over a bed of spinach with a mango kiwi salsa. Now let's get started. We got our salmon right here, we have our spinach over here, we have some onions, kiwi, we have a golden papaya. I don't know if you guys ever seen this before. This is a golden papaya. They had it at Kroger's, I picked it up. Kiwi, got some garlic, and we have some red wine vinegar, salt, pepper, and my little favorite new thing, this black garlic. Now, let's get started. First thing we're gonna do is prepare our salmon. So we're just gonna season it up real quick with a little sea salt. Come over here. Now, this is not the regular black peppercorn grinder. This is green pepper corn, so just a little bit of that. And now I'm going to hit it with my black roasted garlic powder. Now we're just going to set that aside, let those seasonings go into that just a tad bit. We're going to come over here and go to work on our salsa. We're going to get our salsa started so all those flavors can come together and meld together while they hang out in the bowl and wait for us to get done with everything. As always, crush our garlic to get the paper off even faster and easier. See, it comes right out. And all you have to do is discard of the paper. I was at Kroger's today walking around, well, earlier this morning, saying, oh man, I gotta figure out something to cook. And they had this Pacific salmon on sale, so I was like, why not? They had the spinach on sale, 99 cents for a bunch. You can't pass that up. So why not grab that and put those things together? We're just gonna quickly mince our garlic. Try to keep your fingers out of the way. Now, as always, this is totally optional. You can mince it as fine as you want. If you like chunks of garlic, you can leave it chunky. I'm a fan, so I don't have to have mine so minced up, but a lot of people don't like big chunks of garlic. So, up to you, optional. And we're just gonna slide our garlic to the side, let that hang out for a second. Bring our onion. Let you hang out there for a second. Get the paper off our onion. And remember, if you want some nice little dices, the easiest way to do this is get your fingers out of the way. Simply slice down your onion like so. Come around, and this is gonna let you get some nice little small dices of onion, and you're really not doing too much of anything. And would you just give those a quick little, any ones that we missed out on. All right, onions done. Let them go hang out in a little corner by themselves. And now we're gonna start with the papaya. This is a golden papaya. And when you splice it open, it looks like this. So what we're gonna do is just come over and take out the seeds. If you like a little nice little fruity drink, healthy drink, guys, keep these little seeds, pop them in, blend the papaya, put your seeds in there. All right. And then we're just gonna peel our papaya. And once we do this, we're gonna dice these guys up. Perhaps I should have peeled this before I spliced it in the middle. But there we go, one side done. And we're just gonna come over here and do the exact same thing to this one. Get as much of that flesh out of it as we possibly can. Try not to cut too deep in it. So note to self, when you're at home, if you try this dish, peel it before you cut it in half. So much easier. All right, let's do a little cleanup real quick. And I'm just gonna come over and give this a quick little dice. Nothing uniform in this. And that's about the way you want it. And we're just going to add this now into our bowl. And it's gonna wait to have fun with a lot of these guys now. We're gonna use just a little bit of this onions, and I'm gonna keep chopping. We're gonna add just a little bit of the garlic in there. I'm gonna cut up my mango, my kiwi. We're gonna put it all together. We're gonna put a little oil, salt, and pepper. And when we get back, we're gonna continue to cook this salmon over spinach with a mango salsa. We'll be right back. Stay tuned right here on What's Cooking Neighbor. We'll see you right back here in a second.
A champion doesn't get days off. It takes determination and drive to realize goals. From long nights to early mornings. From the courts to the classrooms to online. At Campbellsville University, this is why we play. This is how we learn. This is where champions are made. Find your calling for a life change at campbellsville.edu.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to What's Cooking Neighbor. We got our salmon. I flipped it over. As you can see, it has a nice little crisp to it now. And I may flip this one more time before it's done. Get a little more crisp on that. We got some onions and garlic in here right now, and we're gonna add our spinach to this. And like I said, it looks like a lot of spinach, but trust me, once this cooks down, it's gonna look like almost nothing. And we got that working on a medium heat as well. And to help bring all that spinach, give a little salt and pepper. And while we flip this, I'm going to add, totally optional, just popped in my head, why not do it, a little of that garlic, black garlic powder, and some salt. And once our other side is cooked, we're going to flip that back over, and we're going to let that season crisp up there. Now over here with our spinach, with our garlic and onions. Now, of course, if you wanted to, a lot of people don't like the stems. Of course, you could have sat through all that and picked those off. But I think they have a nice little flavor to it, actually a little crunch to it. And it is gonna wilt down some, so I don't think it is that much of a problem. But if it is for you, of course, you could break those off. As you can see right now, it's reducing nicely. That whole pan was full just a second ago, and now barely anything in it. Just work it with those onions and garlic. And then once we get our other bunch in there and get those sauteed down, we're gonna hit it with a little red wine vinegar. And now, back to our salmon, which doesn't take long to cook. Look at that, beautiful. That's beautiful. Now we're gonna cut this down to low, and we're just gonna let that hang out. And I have right here is some Thai basil paste. I'm gonna put that over top of our salmon. Just like this Thai basil paste. And just spread it on there just like this. And the reserved heat in this skillet, that paste is going to melt down a little bit. It's going to become part of that salmon. I'm going to go ahead and cut that off for a second. Now our other bunch, pepper. Salt. Get this out of the way. Do a little cleanup. Now we're just going to saute the spinach, and once it comes together, get back in the pool. You don't get to get out. We're going to add our red wine vinegar to this. I'm going to add just a little bit more of olive oil. And as you can see, it just cooked down nicely. And now we're going to add our red wine vinegar to this. About a half a cup. And then we're going to let that red wine vinegar reduce and let that spinach soak it up along with the garlic and the onions. All right, guys, we're going to go to our very last break, but when we get back, all this is going to come together. We're going to plate it up, and best of all, we're going to taste it. So stay right here on What's Cooking Neighbor. I'm your host, Don Smith. Pacific salmon over a bed of sauteed spinach with a mango salsa. We'll be right back.
Busy days? Busy nights? When is your time? Campbellsville University has the online degree for you. Your time is now. DiscoverCUOnline.com.
What's up, guys? I'm Don Smith. This is What's Cooking Neighbor, and today it's Pacific salmon spinach over with the mango salsa. Right now, I'm cutting up my kiwi. Been smart enough not to cut it in half this time, just to peel it. It's a lot easier, a lot faster. As you can see, boom, just like that. It's the great thing about cooking, guys. You're always learning, always. If you make a mistake, you just make it into a positive. And we're just gonna chop up our kiwi. Again, nothing uniform, just some nice little chunks to go in. And add that to the bowl. Now our mango. It has this pit in the middle, so what you try to do is go around that pit or go on the side of that pit and not hit it like I'm doing here. There we go. Voila. And then we're going to take the skin off of it. And then we're going to chop it up and we're going to add it to the bowl of greatness. That's one piece. Then we got this spinach. That spinach may look like a lot, but once we start cooking it, it's going to all but disappear, but we're going to add some great flavors to it. And then we're going to be ready to go. And we're almost done. I added some onions and garlic to the bowl. Get rid of this. And chop this up also. And into the bowl you go. Hang out with your friends. And we're gonna let this sit out and chill for a couple of seconds while we cook everything else. And all these flavors are gonna meld together, they're gonna come together, and they're gonna add their special flavors and juices to each other. And they're all gonna come together as one big happy family. Now we've got our kiwi in here, we have our papaya in here, we have our onions and garlics and our mango in there. We're gonna just, no, you go in there, you go in there. And you would just break on me. There we go. A little oil, salt, and the salt is going to help bring all those flavors out. And pepper. All right. We're just going to set this to the side, let that hang out there. And now it's time to focus on our two main dishes. First, our salmon. What we want to do, we have left the skin on this and we want to crisp up the skin. A lot of people get rid of the skin. I think that's a travesty. Don't do it. Crisp it up. It's a beautiful extra texture to that. And we're going to cut this down to about medium now. And you can see that the oil is ready to go. And that is the sound we want to hear. And we're gonna just leave that alone. We're not gonna touch it. We're gonna let that skin firm up, crisp up, and that's gonna be delicious. Give my hands a quick wash. And then we're gonna concentrate on our spinach. Now while that's going, we're gonna come right here and we're gonna start working on our spinach. A little olive oil. We're gonna go to break real quick, and I'm gonna continue to crisp up my skin, and that salmon is going. Our spinach is about to go in, and when we get back, guys, all this is gonna come together, and it's gonna be delicious. Come right back, right here on What's Cooking Neighbor. I'm Don Smith. We'll see you in just a second.